Welcome back, everyone. This is Dark Science from Dark Science Reviews.
Welcome back, everyone.
It looks like my audio is back up and running. I had a little hitch in the system there. Today I'm going to be playing a little bit of Werewolf the Apocalypse. It is currently available on the Xbox Live Marketplace. Its full name is Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. It is by developers Cyanide Studio and publisher Nikon. It is for the Series X and the Series S. Best ran on those for sure. I believe its current size with all patches is about 11 and some gigs. Barely released as of yesterday or the day before. I'm gonna go in and dig into like all the pros, the cons, the achievements and everything. I've got a good majority of the achievements. A lot of them seem to be stealthy, and the rest have to be like getting a certain amount of collectibles, certain amount of quests. There's just a lot of stuff in the game that portray mostly to like stealth, I would say. It's personally like it's all right for a little while if you go in stealthy. If you like the stealthy approach to certain games, it's cool, but at the same time, I personally would just go in and just tear everybody apart towards the end. It gets tedious after a while, sneaking in everywhere. I mean, yeah, you don't alert anybody, but at the same time, it's quicker to just, go beast on them and rip them to shreds as a werewolf. It's much cooler going in as a werewolf and just, taking no prisoners, in my opinion. And that's what the game is kind of built for. You want to be a werewolf. So a lot of story-based achievements, pretty easy for the most part. There, I believe, is achievements based on collectibles, and that's something that I want to get into. And obviously reading a certain amount of stories and stuff around the game. Another thing to note for anybody who's going to start the game up is that once you progress past a certain point, you cannot go back to it. So keep in mind that like the collectibles are kind of tracked on the tracker, but there's no clean-cut way to know exactly where all the collectibles are at in each area after that. It gets a little frustrating because I believe there's 4 places in total. The beginning place, I don't think that the tutorial does have some collectibles in there, so bear that in mind. When you go in, it's like mushrooms and essences and stuff like that they leave behind. Those are really hard to really get even without a guide. I would say it's definitely something that I would say needs like kind of a guide to get through. But if you take your time and sneak around and you keep using your like wolf power, there's skill that it gives you some kind of like let me see here. What's the skills called? It goes kind of like you're able to have like some kind of feral view of everything around you. There we go. I believe it is this one right here. The Numbera vision. Basically, you use this to find all the collectibles that are around you, and just kind of take your time and keep in mind that like there are secret little areas and stuff that are really hidden. The story, I would say, is very corporate. It's very
I'm in the mine.
kind of boring in my opinion.
There should be a service door
But
that leads there.
the lore with their tribe and stuff is actually pretty interesting. The game for what it came out as, I would say looks decent enough. But I would say for an XS game, if you're expecting something like mind-blowing to blow you away, this game was made a while back, so it's a little dated. So that's something to keep in mind. And then, like I said, you can go in as a werewolf. You can stealth kill them. But I like to go in as a werewolf tear them apart. It's really fun to just kind of shred them apart. Really why everybody kind of wanted to get into it, I would say. That's a really good set list in my opinion. At least the main song that plays. It's a nice little metal riff. But yeah, you can play the game on easy. There's no difficulty achievements. So if you're after the achievements for the game, you don't have to play on the hardest difficulty. You can just go in and easy. Use LB to look around. You'll see like little yellow spots, kinda, of like collectibles or whatever. So keep your eyes open for yellow spots. That's definitely how you get some of the collectibles. Each area is full of them. And I believe even after you beat the game, you can always go back on and start a new game. And I think all the collectibles will count regardless. You could sabotage stuff, you know, if you really want to go in the stealthy approach. The graphics are a little dated, but I will say this kind of game would not run on an Xbox One original very well, especially with like even the graphics that I see here. Clearly, like they kind of put a little effort into like some of the stuff. Like some stuff is a little bit more detailed than others, and can't grab that flask. That's another thing. Use your flask up. The fastest approach is the Werewolf. You push RT and you start moving around really quick.
Entrance training center. You are about to undergo a
Looking for collectibles here. Doesn't really seem like I have any. Go ahead and shred everybody up. Like a speed mode and a berserker mode. If you play on easy, you shouldn't have to worry, especially once you get the hang of it. Definitely recommend going in on easy. It's just like I couldn't imagine the game on harder difficulty, honestly. Even the hardest. If you want a challenge, though, definitely a good stealth game, because they catch you for nearly everything.
I see the tank.
You're going to have to cut through the medical sector to get there.
A lot of the game will have you sneak in kind of like to like facilities like this, so it's very, very corporate, like I said. You have to like run and open doors and stuff quite a bit.
They're injecting something into their recruits.
We're aware. Entrance soldiers reek of the worm. We've been trying for weeks to figure out just what's in that serum.
Starts getting a little harder once the worm comes out.
How long will it be before our latest batch of recruits is trained?
2 months for most
So,
of them.
in total,
Less
there
for
is
the
going
ones
to
who
be,
react
I
well to the serum.
believe,
Excellent. I'll communicate that to Major Grainer. when she
43
returns.
achievements. I currently have 880, And the only 2 achievements I'm missing are kind of like collectibles and stuff. Come up behind them and stealth them. Once you get the wolf upgrade, it's kind of good. Just kind of go around and pounce on them.
Security.
And then when you get caught, let's go to town on them. It's just much easier to just go through them like that. The wolf is actually the fastest, so just go in as a wolf, I would say, most of the time. Here we go. It's collectible right here. See, collectibles like this, they're mostly like plants and mushrooms and stuff. See if my progress run up a little bit for that. No, I already had that one. Go around collecting these. These are going to be the things that you're going to have to worry about, I think, the most in the game. You're going to want all these collectibles. They do give you skill points, so you're, obviously want to get them anyways.
So the injections have something to do with the worm.
We think so. We can't prove it yet. That's one of the things Ava and Adana are investigating.
Another thing is the secret missions. Every time you go back to the camp, I would say talk to everybody and see if they have any secret missions for you, and then always check your mission bar on the top. It'll have like extra objectives. You want to complete every single one of those. I missed a couple for some odd reason. It just I couldn't figure out what I was missing, and I swore I did everything on them. But it could be that there's multiple quest lines or something depending on what you do or don't do. I haven't fully figured that one out. Collect as many of those as possible. You actually don't need any of those.
There's
Towards
silver
the end,
here.
I had more than
Lots
enough.
of it. The smell's overwhelming.
You must be in there.
There's only a few bosses.
Propane tanks downstairs from you.
A couple of them are werewolves. Actually, pretty cool boss fights.
All personnel, the security of this installation has been compromised. The site is under lockdown. Defenders immediately.
Break them up. But yeah, for the most part, you'll get caught from time to time, whether you like it or not. A couple skill points here, use them up. Each little skill actually does help quite a bit. you want to go full health, and then the first 2 upgrades I did was the Wolf, because he camouflages, which is actually the best upgrade in the game, I would say, other than health. Definitely go with the Spiritual Link and the camouflage, because it'll help you get undetected if you're going after the stealth achievements. Easiest way to get them is with the Spiritual Link and the camouflage. So these should be the first 2 upgrades you get, and then after that, dump them into health. Everything into health, basically. And then go from health to defense. Let me see. But yeah, go full blown health. Once you get those, you can get any one of these 3, basically. If you want to maximize your special moves or whatever, you build up a meter as you continue on. This is another the rage meter slots actually help quite a bit, especially when you're like damaging enemies and stuff. If you have additional ones, it'll help you later on in the game, so keep that in mind, that these will be needed right here, whether you like it or not. Electric bolts definitely needs to be used, because you need to take out 2 or 3 cameras, I think, for an achievement with that. And then we got anything that increases rage is actually really good. Slow motion helps you a bit, so that this way, like, you can slow them down before they catch you. If you're going stealthy, this is definitely what you want to do. And yeah, that's about it for right now. Keep going, see if there's any collectibles in here. No collectibles, just silver stuff.
I made it to the propane tank, but there's a soldier guarding it. He's more monster than man, though. Just muscles stacked on muscles.
One of their elite soldiers. One way or another, you're gonna have to deal with them.
The more of those plants that you get, the more skill points you get. You're gonna want collectibles. There's some documents everywhere. Make sure to read as many of those as possible. We only need 80.
Security's detected an intruder, but he's not going anywhere now that we've got the site locked down.
Got all the snipers. Special moves really demolish them. If at these points, I would say you haven't fully got all your collectibles, or you don't feel like you've missed something or whatever, you can always go back and into like certain areas. I definitely recommend it, as some areas will be hiding collectibles and stuff, depending on which ways you do or don't go. Some of them are going to be like little rocks or totems like this. They'll be hidden. See if I got any of my yeah, I got some of my spirits to go up. I'm at 85% for my achievement. Unfortunately, I got a long way to go until I find them all, which is unfortunate. you miss quite a few if you don't pay attention really good to everything. Notice there's a couple up there. You'll notice the kind of glows. They'll be like yellow glows are where the spiritual links are and stuff, or the collectibles that you need. Just double back and see if I can grab any of them up there real quick. If not, it's time to set the bomb. Actually, a little bit farther into the game. I can't do nothing yet. So if you see something like that, you know that there's a way to get to it. Sometimes it's before you have to do something, or sometimes you miss it if you don't go back.
There we go. The explosives are in place.
Time for you to get out of there.
Actually, really like wolves, so it's easier for me to kind of get into it. Keep seeing some collectibles right here somewhere. For the most powerful enemies, I would recommend, if they have skills or something, to grab them. Rage mode's really good. It's a combination of speed and power. Really rips right through them. And it gives you a little health boost whenever you use it. Always check on the desk.
This is
Extra
about
info
those
there.
big bastards.
You should see air vents running along the top of the walls in some rooms. When the ventilation system isn't running, those ducts will lead you straight outside.
Got a couple more collectibles there. Go back to the main area after I complete it, so I can show off a little bit of the camp. I'll show a little bit of the stealthiness right now, just to like get in there. There is a couple areas you're gonna have to go in fully stealth, so keep that in mind. At the beginning of the game, go 100% stealth if you want to get those achievements. It gets harder and harder the further in you go, so I recommend doing it exactly
Find
at
the
the beginning.
intruder, don't try to play hero. Give the alert immediately.
Just kind of wait it out here so that he can pass by.
Let's make a rug out of that thing. I need more men. Dispatch, we've got trouble. I signed up. Need reinforcements.
It's a little tougher in some areas to go full stealth. There is a way to get everything stealthy, for sure, but sometimes you get caught. There's stuff up there. I don't know if I can get up there. I got up there a second ago. See if I can get up there again. I think that's actually a way you have to go anyways. Once you start closing up the air ducts.
What's the latest on the program?
The flamethrower exos have just cleared testing. Just got the green light for their deployment.
Good. Keep it up.
Supposed to be trying to show off the stealth. But yeah, I ended up doing most of my stealth stuff in the first areas, like right at the beginning. I felt that they were the easiest to do it in, and I assumed that the game was 100% stealth when I started playing, so I ended up lucking out on that.
I'm almost at the control room.
Steel yourself. Cutting the ventilation won't come unnoticed.
It's always best to go to the areas where there's spirits first, whether you don't want to do it or not. You have to use up 9 of these. The best place to do it is wherever, like at camp, you can collect multiple over and over again. So you could just kind of like toss back 3 in camp and stuff whenever you see the little bottle areas. Sometimes they're not even in camp, sometimes they're out in the open. Swear I've seen something. Gotta show off the stealth now. Easiest area to probably do it in. Get sabotage machines and stuff.
Hello there.
those heavy shield people. The Berserker Rage or whatever, the Berserker. The Rush. One more upgrade. It's a rage game. Yeah, once you go down here, that's it. So keep that in mind. Like, notice I missed a couple of those things right there. There's one right there on the bottom. I didn't even notice it. The only way to do it after you go in is to probably load a checkpoint. So keep that in mind. If you feel like you've missed something, just load a checkpoint. That's another little tip. And you don't have to worry about it because you'll start right here instead. This is another vulnerable fight, so just kind of rush forward anyway.
The ventilation system's down.
Your path is clear.
One, two, three, four. So I'm missing all of these. That's something that I'm gonna have to go. So 2 of them are right here, which is gonna be the main collectibles, and I think there's one more up the drainage somewhere. But there's still 2 collectibles that I'm missing somewhere around here. Sometimes it can be people. So if you've cleared an area, it couldn't hurt to like double check. That's what I have to do a lot, especially since like I'm missing so many collectibles for some odd reason. Most of them are pretty easy to find. So always double back, I would say, kind of like clean house. If you can go back, go back. the main two collectibles right here. Once you drop down, those are the two. But there's a couple other ones kind of stuck somewhere in the facility. I don't know where. But this is definitely what you're gonna have to do if you're playing for collectibles and for the completion. There's that one right there. Already got it. Kind of gives you a good layout too. Once you get through a majority of the game, you could just kind of go back and double check everything. Notice there's 4 from a distance right there. 2 of them we already know are the end area. I believe there's one more as well, farther up before you finish. Doing one more check. About to go see the main area you receive all your quests from. It's the only thing I hate about these collectibles in the game. They don't like give you an area or a rough draft as to where they are, where they could be. They're stuck back. Yeah, once you come into this room, it looks like it's kind of locked back, so that's the best method I can tell you, is to always double check, double back if you have to. Make sure you go through everything. Looks like I missed something in there. And back there. But can't get them anymore because I came too far into the mission. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. I seen that one from the window up at the top when I went too far. Okay, so I ended up finding one more. That one's missable for sure. It's right here, very missable. All collectibles are very missable, but sometimes you got to go back, even if it's just for one. Dwindles down exactly where you need to search next time around. All right, ready to go. Okay. Any more? And then this area.
Good news. Ava's just arrived back at the cairn and brought your daughter with her.
Hidana.
Possibly missed 3. Double check again. 88%, so I clearly missed something in there. Skip the story a little bit so that doesn't ruin it for some people. If that's what you're in for.
I imagine you'd like to see your daughter before anything else. She'll be in Ava's quarters, I'm sure.
Alright, so now check the mission log. Collectible back here. Already got that one though. There's a lot of collectibles out in the open. It's like a hack and slash stealth game, I would say.
Nobody here. but her computer's on.
Before you finish missions, always make sure, I would say, to go to the middle of the area.
How are things on your end?
We're holding up, but I'm afraid our problems are far from solved.
One less problem, now that you're back. It's been too long, brother.
As you know, Magadon claims they opened a new lab to develop natural supplements. It's obviously a front. They've got the public eating out of their hand.
They just brought her. A whole lot of us.
There's still a long way to go. But life's picking up again in the cairn. Ludmilla,
I just can't
I
get
hope
my
you
head
can
around
see
how
this,
much just-
wherever you are.
I figured he'd be the one saving all of us.
Will not last forever.
This tends to be like the main guy that has a lot of quests for you.
The guard they must find and the god that and
You can reset your skill points or whatever if you want to use different skills. I personally didn't have to do any of that, but you never know. You might need it, depending on how you set up your points. The Guardians are actually pretty easy to find.
I hope you found your peace at last, old Magnus.
Two of them are right by each other. Three of them even.
Hear me, raccoon spirit. Wake up. Answer Ifen's call.
The worm has taken advantage of my slumber, but no longer. Ifen can count on me.
Then there's a deer and the rabbit, I believe. The deer and fox right here.
Fox spirit. Your sleep must end. Ifen needs you.
I hear you, warrior of Gaia, and I am now awake. Ifen has my aid.
The deer's somewhere over here. I've never seen them over here somewhere. They're pretty close to each other. The bear is the only one you gotta go out of your way for a little bit.
Stag spirit. Awaken. Help Ifen to fight the worm.
Stag, my bad.
thank you for shaking me from my lethargy, warrior of Gaia. Ifen can count on me.
And the bear spirit all the way to the right. Should help some people out. These spirits are actually a pain. They were a pain finding at the beginning because I didn't know where to find them. Actually a little collectible at the end right there. This is kind of the open world area.
How are the spirits?
Still alive, at least. The influence of the worm has
I can feel my power fading.
There's a way up there, I believe. For the bear. It's up and around this way. And here's the bear. The last spirit.
Bear spirit, wake up. Hear Ifen's call.
I have slept for far too long. I did not feel the worm spreading. Ifen can count me among his stalwart allies. The guardian there will be returned.
So usually he has a quest after every area, and it gives you a skill point, which is good too. This is the one, the missions are the one thing that I'm kind of stumped on. I'm missing a few, but I know I've done them all. But if you check back every single time, and you do the mission immediately, maybe that's it's like timed. Okay, skills. All right. Anyhow, a bit dated, like I said. The game has its strong points, but the story is kind of like very corporate. Other than I do like the main takeaway is that you get to turn into a werewolf. Aside from it being a really easy game. It's a very, very easy game, I would say. I didn't have any trouble, especially if you played on easy. I would recommend playing it on easy. You don't need to play it on the hardest difficulty unless you really, really want a challenge.
Oh,
Skip the
you
stories.
must have a lot to talk about.
I'm gonna give away too
I'll
much.
go check on the solar panels. Catch you later.
Hit.
I had
Yeah, you were.
maybe I
And
run.
this.
You
They're not different as.
and
And what's it?
you.
I'm sure you. That
I
she.
I
It is small. I think
I was
it now.
you.
I'm
She,
sure.
what did I?
She.
I what?
It is
I-
small. I think
So
it now. Anyway.
so
What
yeah,
that nonsense? That's
Okay.
a few
Alright.
buyers.
All right, got another mission there.
she's
Getting
that's
yeah.
so
How evil.
what about
That's this. This.
oh,
Thank
don't build
What
it.
you
Rock
find
out.
how you
Lamb
next to the
had that.
yeah and rock.
How did
Rock. I know.
do you think?
I call it and
Oh, what? So so
this rock that.
done.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
history and lore here and story.
Okay.
Personally, you can beat the game without even knowing what's going on.
So,
And it'll
any
just
news
be a
on the group that was
stealthy
supposed to-
werewolf game. But they've been at a battle with the worm for a while, so that's really what it's about. Let's check and see if he has a mission for me again. Nothing.
As you've able to so able so good. What is it? Never need to know that I know whether I had enough, but I'm it is. Let's just so good. I'm ready.
My best bet is always check. Even if it seems tedious, you never know who has more missions for you. Just talk to everybody. Usually it's just this guy, Yafin, or the spirit god or whatever.
That I yeah. What do you have even wait well that I should and that's my you yeah. I should be free for Nicky Bang.
This one's pretty easy area, but they start throwing robots and stuff at you. I don't want to give too much of the game away, but it's a lot of the same. Another corporate area you got to go through, and I do remember I got all collectibles in this area because this is where I got my achievement for it. So I don't need to like really go after any collectibles here. I'm gonna try the stealth approach one more time here, just to show everybody what it's
civilians taking
what it's
readings
like.
on the nearby riverbank. Should I warn the commander?
Didn't work. gotta outlast them all. In order to drink all of these.
What does the commander intend to do about these activists?
You'll know as soon as I do. For now, sit tight. Dismissed.
And that's one stealth area then. There's probably some. There's always collectibles, so you want to take it slower than I just did. But that's basically the stealth approach right there. You would have gotten an achievement for that part, for doing stealth in that area. I believe there's one for
Ava,
multiple takedowns.
I'm at the entrance to the site.
Do one more little area and then I'll call it there.
Now we're talking.
Find Victoria Vokes is a secondary mission, so keep that in mind that does need to be completed. I do think it counts towards the mission as well.
Guns up! Hostile! Dispatch, we got trouble!
Looks like I have to be forced to fight him.
We're launching the attack.
Okay, let's go.
The main elevator is the only way to reach your targets. You should see a big warehouse door. It's just behind that.
Got it.
Alright, let's wrap it up here. quite a few skill points here. Like I said, make sure to put it all in health. And the first 2 upgrades you want to do is a spiritual link and camouflage. One more wrap up here for the achievements. You should have quite a few of them. A lot of them are story based, so just getting to the end, it'll be pretty quick. But if you end up just like not stealthing for some of the game, it actually cuts the game down by like hours. I believe the game probably could be beaten, I want to say 5 to 7 hours. Not too bad. If you rush it, probably even less, especially if you skip story and everything. If you're only going after collectibles, the collectibles are going to take you the most time. You basically have to take your time for that. And then there is an achievement for unlocking one of the ultimate skills, but that's, you know, personal preference, whatever you decide to do. The more collectibles you get, the more skill points you'll get. The more missions you get in between, the more skill points you get as well. I think it's it probably wouldn't run on a lower tier system. I would say if it was on the Xbox One, I wouldn't want to play it on the Xbox One or the Xbox One S. The X would probably have a little bit of trouble running it, but not too bad. But the Series X and the Xbox Series S are definitely key to playing this game at the best capacity. Even though it looks the way it looks, don't be fooled, there's a lot of little inner workings there that I noticed that definitely would not run very well on last gen systems. Or at least you would notice it, especially with how smooth it's running. Anyhow, let's wrap it up here. Once again, that was Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, currently available on the Xbox Live Marketplace for the Xbox Series X and S. Currently, I think it's $50, and I believe there is another version for a little bit pricier for I think skins and something else. I'm not really sure, but Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood is by publisher Nikon and developer Cyanide Studios. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, please lay them down in the video. I will be uploading this to YouTube as well. So if you have any questions, I'll try and stream certain things if you need help with it. But I don't feel like this game is going to need a lot of help. I feel like a lot of people might drop it. But that's just me. I'm not 100% sure what everybody will do. I have 100% done on the oil rig already. There is multiple files, 30% done already for the dam. So that's something to keep in mind too. It's not a very long game. There is, I think, 4 areas in total. There's this one, plus this is the longest area, basically. You have to do like 3 areas, plus you got to do the prelude, which is another corporate area, and then you have to do, I believe, the desert. I think it's the prison first, then the desert. The prison is even shorter than the desert. The desert is the final area, and then you do the oil rig. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. Hopefully I answered as many people's questions so that they don't have any extra in between. I am missing 2 achievements, and I do not know how I'm going to get them. If I do get them, it'll be on my own time. If that, I might do another little segment depending on how the comments and feedback and everything is about the game. If anybody has any questions, maybe I'll make a guide for certain things, but I don't think it's going to be needed. There's no way for me to actually make the collectible guide. Even if I wanted to, I'd have to stream the game from the beginning to the end and not miss not one collectible, which is near impossible. My percentage for it is at 88%, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. And then I'm at 50% for the Warrior of Gaia, which is a little weird because I completed more than my fair share of missions for him. But he hasn't had any extra available. And then I believe each area you gotta check to see if you have a secondary mission so that you can complete those too. Anyhow, happy gaming everyone. Thank you all for watching.